All the elements that we are going to discuss from this video onwards are going to be inside the body tag of HTML document. In the last video we saw that all the elements inside the head element are not visible inside the web browser. But the elements that we are going to add inside the body are all viewable inside the web browser. Let's first discuss heading tag. Whenever you visit a website, you will see a big title describing what this article is about or what is the purpose of the specific web page. There are total 6 heading elements from H1 to H6. Heading tags are quite easy. They start with H and end with number 1 to 6. Each of these headings have semantic meaning, means H1 is more important than H6 in your web page. So the main title of the web page is usually going to be the H1 and the subtitles are going to be H2 or H3. By default, web browsers display them in little bit larger font and in bold formatted text. But you should not use them for styling a text as bold. Instead, you should use CSS for any kind of styling. Remember, HTML is the skeleton of your web page. It only has the data that you want to display. It should not be used for styling your web page. So if I create my first level heading, this could be the main heading for the web page. I can write something like my favorite website. And I close this tag with closing H1 tag. If I have a blog post on my website, I can write H2 for the title of that blog post. I can also write another post title with another H2 tag. The same H2 tag can be used multiple times across this web page. If I want to write subtitle for this post, I can use H3. All of these heading tags wrap some content, so they need to have closing tags. Similarly, there are H4, H5 and H6 elements with progressively less importance on the web page. H1 is the most important and H6 is the least important heading in a HTML document. To create a paragraph, we can use P tag. We write P and then we can write any paragraph. You can see that the paragraph appears in normal font. If I create another paragraph, you can see that there is some spacing between each paragraph. This is the default styling with paragraph tag, but we can modify them using CSS. There are few tags which provide importance to specific piece of text. For example, if we want to emphasize some piece of text, I can wrap that text inside the EM tag. This by default styles the text to appear in italicized format, but it's used to only represent the emphasis for this text. It should not be used to style the text to appear as italic. If you just want to style a text to appear as italic, you should use I for italic. You can see that it also styles the text in italic format. The same kind of rule applies for strong and bold tags. If you want to have strong importance to piece of word, you can wrap that text inside the strong tag. This displays the text in bold format. This is the default styling by the web browsers, but this should only be used when you want to have strong importance to this piece of text. Similar to I tag, there is B tag for bold, which simply displays the text in bold format. One thing I need to mention first is that HTML neglects all the white space in the code. So here, if I add lots of white spaces, it won't affect my website look. If you really need to have some white space, you should use BR tag for line breaks. This does not wrap any content, so it does not need the closing tag. These kinds of tags are called self-closing tags. There are few other tags like this one. There is HR tag for horizontal rule, which creates a horizontal line in your web page. This can be useful for separating different blog posts or different articles. If you need more horizontal lines, you can include more of these HR tags. There is also a tag if you want to select specific piece of text. This can be useful for selecting specific text for styling using CSS. We can use span tag. This doesn't apply any kind of styles or it doesn't have any semantic meaning. It's just useful for targeting this piece of text, as we will see later on in the CSS section. Now, before we end this video, I would like to show you how you can write comment in HTML web pages. Comments are simple text for your own understanding or for helping other developers understand your code. In HTML, comments can be written using angle bracket, exclamation mark, hyphen hyphen, and closes with double hyphen and the closing angle bracket. Anything we write here will be ignored by the web browser. This is only for understanding of the code and will not be visible in the layout of the page. I would highly recommend that while you are learning, you should write comment on each type of tag you are creating. Once you become familiar with all the tags, you can omit them from your code. Again, to recap, we looked at the heading tags H1 to H6, which are used to create headings in the web page, paragraph tag to lay out body of the page into paragraphs. We also looked at a few self-closing tags like HR and BR. We also saw span tag, which doesn't have any semantic meaning or default styles, but it can be very useful for targeting a piece of text for styling.